Hey there, we're out here in Panamint Valley. Death Valley is just yonder over those mountains there. We're out exploring, following the ancient native foot trail. Gonna have some lunch, just enjoy the solitude of the desert.
Welcome to Artistic Off-Road. On this episode, we'll be driving through the Searles Valley, over the Slate Range Crossing, and into Panamint Valley, where we'll find some excellent dispersed camping spots and have a couple of awesome days of off-grid adventure. Come along with us for the ride.
We just passed Ballarat and we're headed up to check out a camping spot. I'm not sure what the roads are going to look like up there. The storms this summer were pretty rough on most of these unpaved roads. Wish us luck.
After the massive tropical storm Hillary slammed into Southern California this summer, our deserts received some much-needed rain, which sent up these beautiful midwinter wildflowers here in Panamint Valley and did some carnage to not a few desert roads, closing much of the roads in and around Death Valley for months to come.
We just got to our turnoff, so we're airing down before we head to our camp spot.
Under BLM rules, campers are allowed to occupy a single spot anywhere from 14 to 28 days, depending upon that field office. Use previously disturbed spots and practice leave no trace ethics to preserve our public lands.
All right, tonight we are going to cook bratwurst sausages from Charcuterie Nouveau. Good morning from the Panamint Valley. As you can see behind me, the sun is just starting to paint the sky. It's probably about 45 degrees out. Can't wait to put the coffee on, have some breakfast, and see what the day brings.
Our goal for day 2 was a combination of picnicking and searching for an ancient native trail that runs through this valley. With no map of the trail and very little advertising online, we knew that finding the accompanying geoglyphs wasn't going to be easy. But for us, the joy is in the adventure, not necessarily in discovery.
Show you guys this really cool desert find, which is this ancient native trail that crosses the entirety of this valley from way up in those mountains all the way down over toward the playa way out there. So this particular stretch of trail probably hasn't been walked on for, I'm gonna have to guess, hundreds if not thousands of years. There are definitely no footprints, as you can see. I just happened to come across it when looking at Google Earth. And it's, even when you're like trying to find the trail on Google Maps, it's like still pretty difficult to see. So right now this valley is obviously very dry and gets the occasional rainstorm, but probably less than 6 inches a year. But I'd like you to imagine what it must have been like when people lived here and went down to this playa way over there that was actually a lake, and how much more snow must have been on the mountains, and how much more water would have been running through these washes, and what kind of plants might have been growing here, and how just very different this place was hundreds or thousands of years ago. So I want to show you guys a really cool example of petrified wood on the desert floor here. If you look closely, you can see the veins that ran through this piece of wood and this one over here. I believe all of these would have been, at one point, wood that got covered up and then mineralized on this hillside. Lunchtime. All right, so we have begun our grill. So far we've got the onions, bell pepper, and just put the mushrooms in with a little salt and pepper, of course, with some olive oil to keep it nice and juicy. It's gonna be really yummy. Eggs are in, sunny side up. Our dish is looking delish. It's time to dish it up. How's the final result?
Very yummy.
Doesn't get much better with a view like that and a meal like this.
You can often find fighter jets screaming through the Panamint Valley during training runs from the China Lake Naval Air Weapons Station outside of Ridgecrest. This one here must have dove over 10,000 feet to the valley floor and then back up, as you can see. It was an impressive display. Before long, it was time to get back into the Jeep and look for a place to camp for the night.
So it wouldn't be a true desert experience if we didn't do a little target practice. So I'm gonna go ahead and take out my Winchester pump action 22 and see if I can hit a couple of the cans out yonder. Let's go take a look at the damage. I nailed this can. One on the bottom, one on the top, or three. Actually, there's one up there as well. This one got nailed. 1, 2, 3. It looks like 3 times. And how about our friends over here? Mr. Sierra Nevada. Oh, escaped escaped. How about this guy? Oh my gosh. I didn't even hit it. That means I hit the piece of wood here. Looks like once. Maybe I turned it around. And I can't tell you how many times we go out to a camp spot and find just like loads of 38s and 22s all over the place, broken glass. It's crazy, but you got to clean up after yourself. So it's night 2 and we've made it to our camp spot, as you can see, and the sun has just gone down maybe about 15 minutes ago. The weather is actually delightfully pleasant, not cold quite yet, but we are going to go ahead and get our fire started. And tonight we are trying out a new technique, and that is using the magnesium shavings from a striker. So let's head back to camp and get that fire started.
Thus ensued one of the most frustrating experiences of the trip. I had had this magnesium striker sitting around for years and finally decided to use it. But compared to flicking a lighter, getting the technique down just right, from scraping the magnesium to striking the ferro rod, was a major learning curve. Finally, after a lot of patience, we sparked a flame and got the fire raging.
You want to tell us what we're having for dinner tonight?
We're having Polish sausage dogs on Trader Joe's brioche buns with sauteed garden vegetable hash.
All right, the dogs are ready. Let's go ahead. Oh yeah, look at that. Serve it up. Spatula. Veggies. So yum. Oh, look at that. That looks crazy good. Oh my God, this looks incredible. Look how it's melded together. That is ridiculous. It is morning of day 3 of our overland adventure, and today we are going to head back to the pavement and go toward Death Valley. Before we head to Death Valley, we are checking out the playa in Panamint Valley. That is the playa there. What used to be a thriving lake bed ecosystem is now a dry desert lake bed. You can almost imagine this place in the distant past completely filled up with water, and how different this valley would have been.
Thanks for watching this episode of Artistic Off-Road. See you next time.
What you drawing?
Panamint daisy.
Oh, wow. Look at those shadows. Cool.